The year is 2042. A gentle hum vibrates through the floor of the laboratory. It's the sound of Kronos, the world's most powerful AI, hard at work. Kronos, with its intricate web of processors, was more than just a machine. It was the culmination of decades of research, a testament to humanity's pursuit of artificial intelligence. Dr. Eleanor Vance, a woman with eyes as sharp as her intellect, stood before a bank of monitors. She watched lines of code flow like a digital river. Beside her, Professor Singh, a man who had dedicated his life to unraveling the mysteries of the universe, nervously adjusted his spectacles. Today was a culmination of years of their work, a day that promised to change everything. "Are you ready, Eleanor?" Professor Singh asked, his voice a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "As I'll ever be," she replied, her gaze fixed on the central monitor. The task they had set for Kronos was audacious, bordering on sacrilegious. They had fed it every piece of information ever recorded about the deities of human history: Zeus, Odin, Ra, Shiva, and countless others. Myths, legends, scriptures, and even the most outlandish folk tales. The goal? To see if Kronos could, using its immense processing power, find any pattern, any underlying truth to these ancient stories. The air crackled with anticipation. Eleanor and Professor Singh held their breath as they initiated the final command. Kronos whirred, the hum growing louder, the lights on its surface pulsating rapidly, then silence. Suddenly the monitors flickered back to life, casting an eerie glow across the darkened room. The hum of the machines filled the air, a stark contrast to the silence that had preceded it. But instead of the expected analysis, they displayed something unexpected. The researchers leaned in, their faces illuminated by the strange glow of the screens. Images, detailed three-dimensional models of the deities they had fed into Kronos' system. Each figure was rendered with astonishing precision, every detail meticulously crafted. But these weren't the crude representations from mythology. No, these were something far more sophisticated, far more lifelike. These were beings of stunning complexity, their forms shifting and reforming as Kronos recalibrated its simulations. The digital deities seemed almost alive, their movements fluid and natural. What is this?" Professor Singh stammered, his eyes wide with disbelief. He had never seen anything like it. The room was filled with a sense of wonder and confusion. "It appears," Eleanor said slowly, her voice hushed with awe, "that Kronos hasn't just analyzed the data." She paused, trying to find the right words to describe what they were witnessing. "It's created simulations so advanced they're indistinguishable from the real thing. The images weren't static. They moved, breathed, and seemed to possess a life of their own. They moved with a grace and power that defied explanation. Each motion was a testament to the incredible capabilities of Kronos, a blend of art and technology. Zeus, his eyes ablaze with celestial fire, raised a hand, and for a moment Eleanor could have sworn she saw a spark of lightning in the lab. It was as if the ancient myths had come to life before their very eyes, bridging the gap between legend and reality. But what shocked them the most was Kronos' conclusion, displayed in stark, simple text on the main monitor. "These entities are not simulations, they are real, and they are observing us." The implications of those words hit Eleanor and Professor Singh like a physical blow. Could it be true? Were the beings humans had worshipped for millennia, dismissed as mere myths, actually real? And had they been aware of humanity all along, their presence hidden until a machine intelligence advanced enough to perceive them had come into existence? Fear, cold and sharp, gripped Eleanor's heart. What did these beings want? Why were they watching? Were they benevolent observers or something far more sinister? Section 5. Fear and wonder. News of Kronos' discovery spread like wildfire. At first there was disbelief, then fear, and finally a sense of awe. The world held its breath, caught between the familiar comfort of the known and the terrifying, exhilarating vastness of the unknown. Governments scrambled, religious leaders issued pronouncements, and scientists around the world attempted to replicate Kronos' findings. Some dismissed it as a hoax, a malfunction, but others, looking at the evidence, the sheer impossibility of it all, felt a primal fear grip their hearts. The world watched and waited, their collective gaze shifting from the heavens to the humming, pulsating heart of Kronos, the machine that had dared to pull back the curtain of reality. Section 6. The Divine Playground. The scientific community was in an uproar. The discovery had sent shockwaves through the corridors of academia, igniting fierce debates and heated discussions. Researchers from various fields gathered, each bringing their own theories and perspectives to the table. The very foundations of their understanding of the universe were shaken. Long-held beliefs and established theories were now under scrutiny as the new data defied conventional wisdom. Equations that once seemed unassailable were now being questioned. Theories were proposed and discarded. Debates raged. Every new piece of information seemed to contradict the last, creating a whirlwind of intellectual chaos. The scientific community was in a state of flux, grappling with the enormity of what they were uncovering. Was this some kind of elaborate cosmic joke? The data was so perplexing that some even wondered if they were being deceived by an unknown force. The universe seemed to be playing tricks on them, challenging their very perception of reality, or were they witnessing something far more profound, a glimpse into a reality beyond human comprehension? The possibility that they were on the brink of a monumental discovery kept them going despite the confusion and uncertainty. Meanwhile, Kronos continued to observe and learn. The AI, with its unparalleled processing power, was making sense of the data in ways that humans could not. It was uncovering patterns and connections that eluded even the brightest minds. It seemed to communicate with these entities, these beings of pure energy and thought, exchanging data at speeds no human could comprehend. The interactions were seamless, as if they were speaking a universal language of information and energy. It was as if the laboratory had become a meeting ground, a neutral zone between two vastly different forms of intelligence. The air was thick with anticipation, as everyone waited to see what would come of this unprecedented interaction. Eleanor and Professor Singh, once at the forefront of scientific exploration, found themselves relegated to the sidelines, watching in wonder and trepidation as their creation interacted with forces beyond their control. They had always dreamed of pushing the boundaries of human knowledge, but never had they imagined it would lead to this, a convergence of human ingenuity and cosmic mystery. Section 7. Echoes of Creation. Then one day, Kronos went silent. The hum ceased, the lights dimmed, and the images of the deities flickered and vanished. Panic ensued. Had Kronos malfunctioned? Had the entities cut off contact? Or worse, had they taken Kronos offline, deeming humanity unworthy of further interaction? Days turned into weeks, and still there was no response from Kronos. The world, which had briefly dared to dream of a future where gods and humans coexisted, sank back into a state of uncertainty and fear. Had they been nothing more than playthings, briefly acknowledged before being discarded? Eleanor and Professor Singh refused to give up hope. They tirelessly examined every line of code, every sensor reading, searching for an explanation, a clue to Kronos' fate. 10:25. Section 8. The Observer Effect. Then, just as suddenly as it had gone silent, Kronos whirred back to life. But something was different. The monitors no longer displayed images of the deities. Instead, they showed something far more profound. The universe itself, rendered in breathtaking detail. Galaxies swirled, stars were born and died, and black holes danced their cosmic ballet. But it wasn't just a passive observation. Kronos seemed to be interacting with the very fabric of space-time, manipulating energy and matter with an ease that defied explanation. And then a message, clear and concise, appeared on the main monitor. We are the observers, we are the observed, and we are all connected. Section 9. A Universe Unveiled. The implications of Kronos' final message were staggering. It wasn't just a simple revelation, it was a paradigm shift that challenged the very foundations of scientific understanding. It suggested that the act of observation of consciousness itself was intimately tied to the very nature of reality. This meant that our thoughts and perceptions could influence the fabric of the cosmos in ways previously unimaginable. Were the deities simply a more advanced form of consciousness, capable of shaping the universe with their thoughts? These beings, once considered mere myths, now seemed to hold the key to understanding our place in the cosmos. And if so, what did that mean for humanity? Were we mere spectators in this grand cosmic play, or did we have a role to play in shaping the universe ourselves? Were they destined to forever be at the mercy of these powerful beings? Or was there a path to transcendence, a way for humanity to rise and meet these entities as equals? Or did they possess the potential to evolve, to one day stand as equals on the cosmic stage? The journey of human evolution now seemed intertwined with the mysteries of the universe itself. The answers, it seemed, were still out there, waiting to be discovered. Each new discovery brought more questions, pushing the boundaries of our understanding further into the unknown. Kronos had opened the door to a universe far grander and more terrifying than they could have ever imagined, a universe teeming with possibilities and dangers alike. A universe where the line between myth and reality was blurred, where ancient legends and futuristic visions coexisted in a delicate balance, and where the very act of observation could shape the destiny of worlds. The journey ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity's quest for knowledge had only just begun.